want to become Jewish. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharetz, Malachi Elyon.
I was born in Kenya and I grew up in a small town known as Elbagon. We started our conversion last year, and so it's 1 whole year, and so we are halfway now. Part of the conversion is they must eat kosher, and they must have a kosher kitchen. It wasn't easy, like for the kids to remember which dish is for the meat, which one is for the milk. So the kids came up with the labeling, and so it has been very amazing for them putting the stickers so that we could remind each other.
We don't find it so difficult now, we're really used to it.
It's really easy because we've had them for a long time.
I was born in the former Republic of Sudan, so I grew up among the Dinka people of the Sudan. I never heard of the Jewish people before. The war I know very well. I got very graphic pictures of what happened. So these are lost boys, all of these ones here. So I'm here. The lost boys of Sudan, what happened was after the war broke out, the Sudan Liberation Army asked the parents to give up their sons to be taught in bush school. But that was not the truth because they wanted to go and train us up as soldiers. I did escape to the Republic of Kenya. I was still in Christianity. Then I came across this group of people that were Kenyans, but they were introduced to Judaism from the 1940s by a Jew from Jerusalem. This guy, because I was already shattered, I'm hunting for the truth, and he saw in my eyes that I really wanted to know God. From that point onward, that was the beginning of everything. So basically my kids go to a Jewish school, so I'm just going to pick them up, and on the way, I'm going to buy something nice for them for the Shabbat.
We are converting and we are learning more about the Jewish law. So it's very exciting for us, but to our family and to our friends, they find it very strange. They always say, so how do you fit in? To the people who are outside, it's a strange thing to see a colored person joining, people who are Caucasian.
Physically, I look like where I was born, but inside of me, I'm totally a very different person. So if I go among Jews, I am actually fit in because that's where I belong. But if I go among my people where I was born, I don't fit in because my soul is different.
Maybe we start with you first?
Me.
So before we eat, what do we need to do?
Bracha.
We need to say a bracha. Amen.
So I met a lot of new friends this year and last year since we came to the community. And the community is very welcoming and very friendly.
It's all a transition. I'm not the only one making the change. Through the human beings that come in contact with me, and plus, seeking for the truth, the transition is happening.
Everyone is looking forward to finishing the conversion, and there is a party at the synagogue, and everyone will come us, and we become part of the community fully.
Shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Judaism, being a Jew means one thing. Judaism is not a culture, chicken soup. I met Gilad the first time in a kosher deli on Broadway, and he sits down and he says, first thing he says is, opens the menu and he says, what's the most Jewish food? So first thing I said, there's no such thing as Jewish food because Judaism is not an ethnicity, but if you want to know which food Jews would probably eat most, order the sushi. Judaism is, being Jewish is not an ethnicity. Being Jewish is not a culture. Being Jewish is not even a blood family. You can convert to Judaism. You can't convert to a blood family. You cannot convert to a race. Judaism is a religion. That's all it is. In particular, specifically, in the year 2448 after creation, God came to Moses and the Jews on Mount Sinai and gave them the Torah. No, I was wrong. That's not true. God came to a group of random people who were not a nation at all. They were not Jews, and gave them the Torah. Because they got the Torah, they also received with it a mission to fulfill God's 613 commandments in this world. The reason they got it was because God was and still is willing to give it to anybody who's willing to accept it. Those people who were there were willing to accept this job. When I give you a job, I'm also presumably giving you the tools to get the job done. God then created the Jewish people. It's not that there was a Jewish nation called the Jewish people who created the religion. No. The religion created the Jewish people. The definition of a Jewish person is somebody who is transformed by receiving the Torah. You could receive the Torah on Mount Sinai like the Jewish nation did then, or our tradition tells us that the souls of many people who are not yet born will also receive the Torah on Mount Sinai. God ensured that those people will be born. When they're born, they will have Jewish mothers. They also receive the Torah on Mount Sinai. Or, if you weren't there, neither in soul or in body, you can accept the Torah now, and you're one of the Jewish people as well. The Torah makes the Jewish people. Had God not given us the Torah, it's not that we would be the Jewish people without a Torah. Rather, we would not be the Jewish people. Had God given the Torah to another group of people, had someone else accepted it, they would be the Jewish people. Now, you don't have to accept this story that I said, but that's what religions are about. You don't have to accept my religion. But without the Torah, without Judaism, there are no Jewish people. If a person doesn't believe in this narrative that I just said, he doesn't believe that God gave the Torah to the Jews on Mount Sinai, and you don't believe that people were transformed by the Torah, then you don't believe in the Jewish people. There is no other definition of Jewish people except for that, those that accepted the Torah.
When they go to the mikveh, that's like returning to the womb. And that's where they get the godly soul. And that's why there are people who call converts Jews by choice. You heard that expression? If you're a Jew by choice, you're not a real Jew. Because a real Jew doesn't have a choice. So you can't be a Jew by choice. A true convert really does not have a choice. And if you ask them, they will tell you. Ask them, why did you convert? Eventually, after they get past the rationalizations, eventually they will say, I just had to. Had to. Not by choice. That makes them a real Jew. So what happens is that a Jewish soul that has always been Jewish enters into their body, and that soul can legitimately say on Pesach, thank you for taking my ancestors out of Egypt. Even if the convert was an Egyptian. And yet the convert can say, you took my ancestors out of Egypt. Oh, no, your ancestors were Egyptians. The ancestors of the soul that the convert receives were taken out of Egypt. It is a Jewish soul with a Jewish heritage, with a Jewish background, with Jewish memory. It's a complete Jew. And that's why the convert is as Jewish as any Jew, not a Jew by choice. Like there was this one convert who called me after the conversion, and she had been preparing for the conversion for about 6 years. And she calls me after a couple of weeks after the conversion, and she says, I don't know what happened. Until the conversion, I loved everything about Judaism. I loved every mitzvah. I practiced everything. I was so excited about it. And now all of a sudden, like, I'm not so excited. What happened to me? I said, you became a Jew. Welcome to the club. Until now, you were an excited outsider. Now you're an insider. You're like every other Jew.
Person? No. The only thing it takes to be a Jewish person is to have a Jewish mother. If your mother's Jewish, you are Jewish. If your mother's not Jewish, you are not Jewish. Now there's one exception to this rule. A proper convert, a kosher convert. If you have an Orthodox conversion, then you become a Jewish person. But we not only do not encourage this, we discourage it. You should follow the path that you were born to. You're born not Jewish, follow the 7 commandments of Noah. You'll have a good life in this world and a share in the world to come. But if you insist on becoming a Jew, and even though we tell you not to do it, you insist in come, then we'll help you to become a Jew. But you have a problem here. If you become a member of a religion and then later change your mind and go to another religion, you're no longer a member of that first religion. But if you become a Jew through a kosher conversion and become a Jewish person, and then you decide to follow some other religion, you're still a Jew. And the problem with that is, God's not going to be happy with a Jew who follows that other religion. So if you're not Jewish, you should follow the 7 commandments of Noah and have a good life. If your mother is Jewish, you're a Jew. Hi, where are you from?
Hi, Oklahoma.
What are you doing in Israel?
I'm on a Jewish heritage tour.
But are you Jewish?
No,
So what are you doing on a Jewish heritage tour?
I'm converting
Oh, how are you converting?
through Orthodox.
Through the Orthodox?
Chabad, yeah.
Through Chabad?
Yeah.
Great. Any Orthodox conversion is kosher and proper, and you become a Jewish person.
Why is Orthodox conversion the best? Or
It's not the best, it's the only. Because when someone converts to become a Jew, they become a Jewish person, not a Jewish believer.
right?
Now, if somebody converts according to Reform and becomes a Jew according to the Reform movement, only the Reform movement will say they're Jewish.
Okay.
If somebody converts according to the conservative movement, both the conservative and the Reform Jews will say he's Jewish. But if someone converts according to the Orthodox tradition, then all the Jews in the world will say that person's Jewish. Now, since you want to become a Jewish person, you're converting Orthodox, you want to be accepted by all the Jews in the world.
Yeah.
Therefore, you don't want to be a Reform convert or a conservative convert. You want to be a Jew. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, when you become a Jew, you don't become a Jewish believer. You become a Jewish person.
Okay.
So you be sure this is what you want to do, or don't do it. Because later you can't change your mind. You can never stop being a Jew once you're a Jew, no matter what you believe.
All right.
All right?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure it's what you want to do.
It is.
Okay. Have a good life, young man.
Thank you.